Trader.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of The Rational Investor. The big question on everyone's mind must be, what am I eating today? Today we have pomelo. See this? Pomelo. Can you guys see it? Is it clear on the camera? Pomelo. This is a citrusy Asian fruit, sort of like a sweeter grapefruit. It's like, if you like grapefruit, this is like better. Where grapefruit is tart and you had to put sugar on it and stuff to make it palpable, this is just, you can just eat it. It's amazing. So this is the reason I'm eating this right now is because I'm now tracking my macros and I didn't hit my carb requirements for the day. That's the hardest thing. I can hit the protein, I can hit the fats, no problem. But the carbs are really hard when you don't eat any like packaged foods. Anything that comes in a box, just avoid it. If you want to be healthy, avoid things that come in a box. Okay? Eat whole foods, meats, stuff like that. Yeah, this is actually a health food channel. You're not here to watch about the stock market in case you didn't know. I'm just kidding. I'm going to pull you guys up on the YouTube. Let me pull up YouTube. Wow, we've got a lot of interesting things being posted in the TRI lounge today. Lots of excitement. Let's pull up the YouTube and I can see who's here. Okay, I'm going to move this over. Do that and that. We're going to make my screen a little bit brighter here. Yeah, there you go. You guys can see my face a bit more. I've got my knockoff Under Armour or Adidas shirt on today. Probably from China. Letting the chat load here. Okay. Oh, that making my screen brighter makes my face very bright. All right, hello, Magic. Yeah, we can maybe look at that in the after party. Hello, Gills. 12 people watching. Hello, guys. Welcome. Sorry for the late start. Let's shrink me and get into what you care about. All right. Hello, baby me. Okay. Now, if you think it's too small or too big, let me know. I can always change my size. Wow. Yeah, that's nice, Omar. We'll definitely take a look at Blink. I also talked about one called NAAS. That's up quite a bit as well. That's another charging solution. It's a Chinese one though. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this display. This one. Yep. Okay. Here we go. So, what do you guys want to look at first? You want to look at investor sentiment? You want to look at what's going on in the Forex factory calendar? What kind of news we're going to get today? You want to look at open interest? Those are the three things we always go through first, and then we'll go to the charts. Or you just want to see me eat pomelo. We can also just talk about pomelo and like how to be healthy. But I'll save that mostly for the after party. I will save the Julian health tricks for the after party. I can give it all to you in 5 minutes. You don't have to save you tons of time watching everyone else on YouTube. They say health is wealth. All right. Let's look at investor sentiment. Look at this. 43.8% bullish. I posted this in the lounge a couple of hours ago. This updated last night. And we had 42% last week. Now, if we look at the market, where has the market gone since this basically came out? Since we hit that high level. Let's go back. Okay, 11.8 that came out, right? So where were we in the S&P on 11.8? We were here. So surprisingly, since then, the market's gone higher, which is shocking. But we did talk about that possibility last week and how we have this extreme level of divergence, and it's built to an even more extreme level. There's no breakdown yet. This is a 12-hour chart. I like to look at the 12-hour. I want to see a breakdown on RSI here. There's been no breakdown yet. So even though we have this massively high level of investor bullish sentiment and low bearishness, the market technicals have not developed to the point that we can really heavily short this. I have started opening short positions. To be totally clear, I have started opening short positions up here. I think there is a large level of divergence on some of these charts, but I didn't see a breakdown yet. This is quite a big, this is not a really big increase in RSI in comparison to price. So this is something that is surprising, and it's something I'm paying close attention to, and I do think that we need a bit of a pullback. We're going to go into this more detail in a second. Let me just get through what's going on with the news. So I wanted to point out about investor sentiment. Let's look at what the news is saying today. Anything surprising coming out? We did have the unemployment claims come in again higher. Now keep in mind, they've been revising this number upward every time we get a 1 month, 2 month revisions that are higher than what they've been claiming when they come out with it. So the fact that this is up by 10K, that's a big deal. I've talked about in the past that when I see employment claims spiking, that is often a sign of the market topping out. And when you see employment claims take off, that's when the market dumps. Maybe that's coming. Anything else interesting coming out? You have a bunch of FOMC members speaking today. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference. You have retail sales from your GBP coming out tomorrow. Nothing really until next week. FOMC meetings. This is the big one we're going to wait for, right, on November 22nd. That's a big one. Let's look at open interest here, because this is the big monthly expiry tomorrow. This is what I've been talking about. This is the one that really matters. Where is Max Pain here? This is an odd chart. Look at how many puts we had. I talked about this 2 weeks ago, and I said, look, when you have this many puts and this few calls in comparison, the market is going to rally. And that's exactly what happened. But now we've rallied, and we're up to this point where we can't really go much higher, because Max Pain is right around here between this 440 and 455 level. And that's why the market's like hit a brick wall here at 4,500, 4,510. And if anything, I would think Max Pain would be pulling back to this. Let's see, where is Max Pain here? 4,400. So that would be 4,400 would be all the way down here, right? Which would be a nice support level. Let's see, what does it actually say is maximum pain? I like to look at this, but then we have, this is volume, 449 and 450. I'll look at that volume right there. Interesting. But max pain is, it seems, around, where do they often say what the exact max pain number is, where I don't feel like looking at the chart. Where is the max pain number? Options chain, max pain is 433, they say. Okay, so let's go back up. Let me see. This is, I hope this is open interest, but they're saying max pain 433. So that's all the way here. And if we go up, where is that here? That's about here. I don't think we're going to get that low. I think we could go to 4,400, possibly into tomorrow. The market does look like it's setting up to drop. That would be that max pain level. Now, is this guaranteed to happen? No. But it is an interesting metric to watch, and often has proven to be true in the past, especially for these big monthly expiries. And with the technicals that I'm seeing, I don't see why that's couldn't be the case. So I'm long SPXS. I added a bit here. I added a lot more down here, since on the 4 hour we have a 7, 8, and 9. I might even add some more today, but I still have a large amount of cash that I could add to this, because it has not fully met my criteria for a long just yet, since we are not, if I adjust this, we're just starting to come on the other side of this, where the RSI is potentially creating a W. Nothing yet, though. Very early here as well, but it is something I'm looking at. Also, we like to watch VIX, and the VIX had a huge pullback. So I'm also looking at some options in a couple names, because options are cheap now. I like to go long put options when the VIX is extremely suppressed. When the VIX is up here, I like to actually sell puts, where I expect, because then I can get a much higher premium when I'm selling them. So that's kind of my strategy, if that makes sense. All right, just have to recharge with some pomelo. All right, let's go back to the news here. So that's what I'm thinking going into Friday. At least that's what the option market is telling us. I don't think I really have anything else. I did want to touch on something where Arthur Hayes, TGA. I wanted to talk about this, where Arthur Hayes has an interesting calculation, which I can't replicate because the data is on Bloomberg. So if anybody has a way to replicate this on TradingView, I would love to do it. And I hate that I have to log in here. Just let me, damn. Okay, wait guys, 1 second. Let me log in. Twitter. Damn, I hate that I have to do this, but I really want to show you this Arthur Hayes thing. It's extremely interesting. Okay. Just logging in on another screen. And trying to get my password right, which is proving to be sort of difficult. Yeah, I don't know what my, why does this happen? What is the password? Damn, so annoying. All right, wait, I'll log into a different account that I never use. Just bear with me, guys. This is ridiculous that it's taking me so long. I do apologize. All right, I'm gonna log into a random account, and I hope it doesn't make me sign up for Twitter, and it can just let me just be a random person, because I want to show you guys this. Okay. I have to make a whole. It won't let me sign in. The sauna I have is at the condo I stay at. All right, so we can just look at through Google because I can't sign in, which is ridiculous. It's just because I'm in an alternate. I have a special browser just for the TRI shows. And that's why so that's why I'm not logged in. But on my normal browser, I am logged in. It's just I can't open that browser while this browser's open. So Arthur posted here, keep your eye on the prize. Almost 200 billion liquidity injected since the start of November as RRP balance falls and TGA balance hasn't changed. So what he's saying with that is the reverse repo facilities are being used as liquidity to inject into the market, because it generally reverse repo is supposed to go down to increase the TGA, but he's noticing that it's not happening and there's a difference. And he's saying that liquidity is potentially being injected in the market, which could be the explanation for the huge jump. So if we look at the RRP, I think this is something to keep an eye on. Hello, Snowboarding JJ. Look at this. Look at the huge change, especially October. All right, let me zoom in on this for you guys. Just from the beginning of October, right, all the way to now, you've had $600 billion drained out, even just since October 31st. So October 30th, if I make this even smaller here, October 30th, there was $1,138 billion. $1,138 billion in the RRP. And now, as of yesterday, we're at 94 billion. So that is a difference of about 230 billion just in the past 2 weeks. Now, I don't have Arthur Hayes' magical metric because I don't have the Bloomberg terminal, which is like $27,000 a year. But we can assume that if you look at this, right, here's October 30th. Could it be possible that the money taken out of the RRP has been injected into the market to create potentially part of this short squeeze? Something to just keep in mind, think about. I want to encourage discussion regarding that. So, what do you guys think? Do you have anything that you're tracking as far as liquidity injections into the market? Because I think that makes a huge difference. I have the TerraStation wallet. The special browser, it's the TRI one, and it doesn't have, I don't think it has TerraStation, does it? Oh, it does. Yeah. Well, it's the TRI one, but there's nothing in it. Trust me. 27K I'm not spending on a Bloomberg terminal. Trust me, it's not worth it for one chart. So we'll see if you guys can find another way to get that data. Okay, I'm putting away the pomelo because I think it's distracting. Anyway, let's pull up the market. Seems to be like a sub conversation happening between Brian and Chris. I don't know why that's not happening in the lounge rather than the YouTube, but whatever. No one has anything in TerraStation anymore. Yeah, exactly. Oh, this pomelo is so addicting. Okay. Oh, I talked about the S&P a bit and how I think it's kind of topping out, and I have some short positions. But again, I'm very early to the trade, so just keep that in mind. I think I will talk about one or two stocks that I've had my eye on. I mean, let's look at DXY quickly. So DXY is still dumping. Very bearish. I don't have anything positive to say about this just yet. We talked about gold before. Gold was having a bit of a pullback, and now it's rallying again. So this was your entry for gold. A 9 came in and it tagged the 200-day moving average. I mean, I don't know how this could get any easier as far as a trade if you're watching gold. Obvious long signal with massive resistance levels, and now gold is breaking on the other side. This is the big move, and I don't see why it wouldn't go higher here. I mean, this is a nice ABCD formation. There's no reason why gold couldn't take off and go up to 2124 here. That totally could happen. So if you're interested in gold, just understand that it could potentially put in a huge move here. This could even be your bigger ABCD, right? Because here was kind of your consolidation period, and here's your next level. This is with the tag the 200-day weekly, and this target is 2300. So you've kind of got two targets, 2120 and 2300. That's kind of where I expect gold to go, which is sad because I have a lot of dollars and I want dollars to keep going up because I'm a little bit of a perma bear. I fully admit that. Okay, let's look at silver. I was reading that people think silver is going to outperform gold. Silver's still just 24. Amazing looking at silver like on a monthly chart here. Look at this. So it's just kind of sitting here at this level, waiting, consolidating for a very long time, since 2020. This could potentially have its breakout and go all the way up to 35. I mean, that's a much bigger move percentage-wise than the gold move that we're looking at. So I think if you want to maximize your profits in the metals, I would really consider silver as a potential when it breaks on the other side of this trend line on a monthly chart. So maybe set an alert. I might set an alert at like 25 to really jump on the silver train. All right, so that's one that I wanted to touch on. Another thing is I'm looking at this charging company. That was like, keep in mind, this is like a Chinese charging technology company, so you can look into this yourself. But it was, I mean, it was really high before, $400, and went all the way down to $2. And I think it has a significant potential bottom coming in here. Now understand that this was a new low it made. So, you know, be cautious, but at least on the daily chart, it looks like it kind of broke out. It needs to fill this gap, and then that gap, after the gap fill, it could take off. So that's one I'm watching closely. It's similar to, somebody just said blink charging took off. Blink charging. Yeah. So this is similar to blink charging, where Blink is also I believe it's some kind of charging company. Let me double check that. Blink charging. What do they do exactly? Electrical vehicle EV charging stations. So yeah, let me show you guys. So Blink charging is an electrical vehicle charging station thing that has recently like bottomed out. And if we look up NAAS charging, first public pure electric vehicle charging service. So you see this is the same type of thing. Leading electric vehicle charging service company has announced plans to acquire blah blah blah. One-stop EV charging. So it's the same, it's in the same category as the Blink charging company. And with the number of, I'm especially interested in the China one because Chinese market has a massive explosion of sales with EVs right now. It's almost 40% of total vehicle sales, while in the US it's only 7%. It's much lower. So I'm really interested in that Chinese one because I think it could have a huge room for growth in the future. But this is more like a kind of a little lady play that I'm kind of watching for. Blink, I think, could also be a good play. Problem is it already almost doubled. So you want to see some kind of pullback before you can consider a long. You can see this breakout happen. This was my breakout line. I had this marked, and it basically just took off from here, and it's hitting this 10 EMA on a weekly chart, which has traditionally been a rejection level. So I'm going to look for the rejection and pullback, and then I will long Blink as well. So I think I'm going to put some alerts here. Let's go to a daily chart. As far as pullbacks, let me reverse this. And I'm going to set alerts at the 50%. And another alert at the 61.8. I'm going to buy on all the way down. I think it could pull back as much as to this gap fill at 262, but I'm going to add to my position on the way down all the way to this gap fill. So there you go. And I add an increasing size, by the way. My first buy is going to be the smallest, and then it will get bigger as we go further down. Yeah, Brian, I understand. Do not trust any Chinese company. That's fine. But this is an EV play, looking at the economics. And that's why I consider it like a little lady play. So, you know, it's up to anyone. If you don't want to take it, that's fine. But I've read a lot about the EV market and looked at a lot of statistics. And I think it's a potential good play for the future, especially since it's very oversold. Blink charging as well. Oh, something I'm watching. I'm going to set some alerts on this as well. This is kind of what I do because I have to set alerts at price levels. Otherwise, I just forget about it. And then I just wait for the alerts to happen. And when the alerts hit, then I go and look at the chart again and I decide if I want to buy or not. That's pretty much how I do it. Let's see. How far are we into this? 23 minutes. All right. I know everybody's super excited about crypto. Let's look at crypto. We'll just do Bitcoin. Okay. So look at this. Does this look like something that's ready to go to new highs, or does this look like something that's kind of pulling back? To me, this looks like something that's getting ready to break down and pull back. I'm not really feeling super bullish about this right now. You can see it hasn't broken down yet. Potential for a breakdown though, but if it W's out, it could go higher. Just keep in mind there is potential for that to happen, but this is a really large divergence happening here, where price has made higher highs it seems like it's kind of been hunting liquidity on both sides, and RSI is making new lows and keeps going lower. So I'm very cautious about crypto up here, Bitcoin especially, and I think that it's a bit dangerous long up here. That's all. If you're already long, okay, you can hold. That's fine. But I do think it's extremely dangerous. I'm watching this 10 EMA to see on a daily chart to see if it breaks down. I'm watching RSI. Right now, no short for me yet. However, I am watching for it. If we start to get a breakdown, I could jump into some shorts. I just need to see this RSI line really break down. But for now, I'm in a holding pattern. It is very bullish on something like a weekly chart, but we have a 9. We have this 9 that came in. Also, on a 3-day, we have a 9 that came in. So both 3-day and weekly timeframes are basically saying, hey, this thing's a little bit out of steam. It needs to take a break, at least take a breather for the next couple weeks at the minimum. But normally it would be a pullback down to, I mean, at least kill the liquidity at 50% level, 34,000. If not, head all the way down here to below 30K, hit the 29K level to really scare people. That's what I'm kind of seeing on these higher time frames. I'm seeing that there needs to be some type of pause and pullback scenario. We've also hit the top of this parallel channel I have here. Basically the top, right? So if I make this a little bit bigger, it's basically the top here. I can adjust it a little bit. It's not perfect. Keep in mind I'm kind of doing this on the fly, which is not the best way to do it. Yeah, I often like to do something like this. Gives me the best kind of, let me see here. I like to go to lower time frames. I would say this is not the best parallel channel. And again, this is not something I like to do on the fly, but it does seem like price is decently respected these levels. You could even make the case for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, from 20K to 30K, that's a 50% increase. And then from 26K to 37K, 17 to, let me change this to a log scale really quick. Sometimes I like to look at Bitcoin on a log scale. I feel like it helps. Just bear with me here, guys. So interesting to look at it on the log scale. So you can see how we have room to move higher in a 41, but we're right above that midpoint. I prefer it on the regular scale though. Let's actually just go back here. Like that. Okay. And you could see how potential for a pullback if this parallel channel is respected. Potential for a pullback here. Lots of arguments for why this is kind of topping out and a potential short opportunity. So just keep that in mind, okay? Just keep it in mind. I know there's alts popping off everywhere that look extremely bullish, but I'm concerned with the level of bullish sentiment I'm seeing out there. Interesting that total is at -2. Oh no, total's at -2, Bitcoin's at -3. So that makes sense. I'm trying to think, do I want to look at any alts? I mean, Link, of course. So Link also looks like it's kind of topping out, right? We can look at total 3 and get a general idea of what's going on with alts. No breakdown, serious breakdown yet, but if I draw my daily like this, it actually looks like a breakdown is happening. Even a 3-day hit the 9. Weekly hasn't hit a 9 on the alts. You can see how you had quite the breakout. So weekly is extremely strong. Took out all the liquidity in these highs. I'm just not a big fan of how this daily looks. This seems like the rally's kind of getting long in the tooth now, and we're a bit overdue for a pullback. So just temper your bullishness. There will still be names that pop off, but I don't want you guys to get burned. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't want anybody to get burned. and it's better to take profits and be careful. We have rallied a good amount, and I think there's plenty of time to make more money and for this rally to continue. But for now, I think, you know, we may have a pullback coming. Okay, it's been about 29 minutes. Do you guys have any specific questions? Otherwise, I think we might call it for the public show, and we will jump into a private show for TRI members where I will go over a bunch of individual stocks that I haven't talked about, a bunch of names I'm interested in on the short side. On the long side, we'll go through the top 7 tech names, you know, Microsoft, Apple, Google. I'm going to go through all of those. We're going to look at the VIX in a little bit more depth. I'm going to talk about, I will look at Ethereum in particular. And so those are a couple of things that I'm going to talk about in the private show. Let me see if I missed any questions here in the public one. Santa rally, then election year in 24, plunge protection team saving markets. Yeah, I mean, Omar, that's maybe possible. That's maybe true, and that's what they're using the RRP for. I'm also, I think in the after party, I will talk about there was a statistic I saw where the healthcare metric that they used to look at inflation was massively changed. The calculation they used, which caused healthcare to be negative 34% from an inflation standpoint, which people are saying is what caused the CPI to be lower. So just keep in mind that the data can be massaged and manipulated in a way, and you have to be careful with that as well. Okay, I think we will call it for the public show, and I will see most of you in the private stream in like 5 minutes. Okay. Hope you guys have if I don't see you in the private stream, hope you have a great rest of the week. Don't forget to go outside, right? Get away from your computer, work out, eat healthy, do all those things, spend time with family and friends. And if I don't see you in the after party or the Discord, I will see you next week. Same time, same bad channel. All right, bye guys.